Well, on this episode, we're going to tackle Frenchmans in the trucks. Without trailers, without buggies, we've made it here to the Archer River. We're going to leave them here, go and tackle it, and then come on back. But it should be an absolute ball. Now, I've got to be mindful here. I don't want to hit that embankment. Now, I think that could be pretty easily done here, like that. And I've got no control on that side. So I just got to watch this side, stick over to this side as much as I can. And just climb it up. Steady, steady. Oh, that looks pretty steep here. Here we go. So come along as we show you what exploring off the grid's all about.
The Frenchman's track's a very tight track. We did it last year with buggies and trailers, but this year, different story. The trailers are heavier, wider, so we all thought, now let's just not put ourselves under a bit more pressure. Frenchman track has got a reputation of being a quite hard track, especially getting down to the Pasco. So
this year we're taking the Isuzus through. Now, a smart thing is we don't need to carry all the extra luggage, so we're going to drop the tinnies, drop the trailers to make it a lot easier on us, because we don't know what the track's going to be like. And we may as well, because we can leave the stuff here at Archer River, we may as well tackle it with the bare bones.
Yeah, so while we were at Archer River, camped up there, we saw another couple of trucks. So had a good chat to them guys. That was really cool to get a few different ideas and have a look at theirs, and they kind of have a look at our trucks. And yeah, it's obviously taken off. So we're seeing more and more trucks up here day by day. It's really good.
You know, it used to be the cruisers, the 79 series were the popular thing. When you can buy one of these trucks at the same sort of money as what you can buy a 79 series, carry a lot more gear, you know, it's not a bad option to go to. You got a copy, Rick?
Yeah, gotcha, mate.
I reckon this is the turn for Frenchmans. But also, if we want to, we could have a stop at the old gold mine that's up here and check it out.
Yeah, mate, I know we did see it last year, but we were pretty rushed, so I wouldn't mind having another look through that. It was awesome.
Righto, no worries at all. Now, what are you expecting? You know, we went there last year and we did Frenchman's last year, but you didn't do it in a truck, you done it in a 79 series. What do you reckon it's going to be like this year for you?
Yeah, this will be interesting, mate. Didn't have to think too much about it. 79 was plenty of space, so yeah, we'll see how it plays out, eh?
What do you reckon with the extra weight, though?
Yeah, well, that's a factor I have to take into account. I don't think we'll have any dramas, like even the telly track when Johno and I were running up there, you know, it was just go slow and steady and plan it out, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, fair call. You know, one of the places I love to drop into is Batavia Goldfields. Now, there's just ruins left there now. No one mines it or anything like that, but it's a great place to go in, explore, because a few years ago I got to get there and go for a big explore because it was all burnt. So you could see stuff out through the bush, and you can go and check it all out. And there's some great camping just there.
Yeah, so just before we entered Frenchman's, we stopped at Batavia Gold Mine, the old site there. Jamie loves that gear, so do I. It's just interesting to wander around, take your time, check out how they used to do it back in the day. It was really interesting.
And I love to stop in there every single time, because when you do Frenchman's and you're doing it from the east to the west, you're going to go past it anyway. I think one of the crucial parts about when you're driving these roads, whether it's anywhere in Australia, like we're up in the Cape at the moment, and there's a lot of dirt roads, and I think it's really important to make sure you drive with your headlights on, because you never know what's coming around the next corner. and the oncomings is always good to call up when you're driving in a convoy, because the people behind you, they're in a cloud of dust as well a lot of the time, and they don't get to see what's coming ahead of them. So it's a pretty important part of it, I think. We've dropped our tyre pressures down now. We've dropped them down by, I think I've dropped mine by about 20 pound at the moment along this dirt road, which I'll drop it probably lower when we get onto the Frenchman's track. But just having a go with it as it sits now, it's sitting quite comfortable. Well, the first part of Frenchman's, well, it doesn't matter when you do Frenchman's, there's a lot of bush. Well, we've entered Frenchman's track. It will be quite challenging because last year it was quite tight in the Canter. Now these trucks are a lot wider, so we will see how they handle it. How are we going, Dave?
He's woken a nest of angry green ants. No, don't put my windows in.
Here we go, Dave.
No, stop it.
Here we go, Dave.
Look, I'll do this over there. Oh, see, them they're green ants and you don't want anything to do with it. I wonder if tell Rocket to put his window down.
What will be interesting is, because it's so tight and narrow, is how Rick's truck's going to handle it. Because he's a bit cautious. He's a bit more cautious than I am, but he hates getting any scratches or marks on his truck. So hopefully he'll do all right.
Yeah, so last year when I'd done the Frenchmans, I was in the 79, so totally different. When you're up in a truck, you are much higher. You're looking straight over, being a cab over. You're looking straight down. A little bit more bouncy being in a cab over, obviously. But obviously we've got great suspension. Everything rides really nice. So yeah, there's differences.
The one thing that got me last year was I'm driving along and I'm talking about what I could see to the other guys, because they were in their four-wheel drives, which are a lot lower than me, and I'm looking across over the top of the bushes and everything. Anyway, it was quite funny because Rick got to see it firsthand this time on the actual where the bushes were, you know, and he could see what was out there.
There you got me, Jamie.
Yeah, copy.
I remember last year, you were putting a fair bit on me when we were driving through places like this, not being able to see over the top of the trees and stuff, so I'm up here with you this year.
Yeah, I was going to actually say that earlier. I was going to say, how do you like the view this year?
That's much better. Even you're a little bit higher than last year too, so it's yeah, it's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, it's unreal. You know, the one thing I do love, and I got to test it last year with my Canter, is the articulation. Now, we've got the Isuzus this year, and there's chicken tracks around the place, but we took them front on, and we got the articulation to get how much travel to get out of those wheels, and how we could turn and travel down that pathway to see how it was going to work. And it was amazing. And I reckon we got some great photos along the way. Well, it's a no-brainer for the suspension we're running underneath these trucks. We're using the all-terrain parabolic suspension because I've had that, it's proven itself over and over to me on how well it works. Now we're running adjustable King shocks and adjustable airbags. Now the airbags we can adjust from inside, the shocks we adjust from underneath. And it's easy to tweak them up or tweak them down to whatever we need them to be. And at the same time, the crucial part is making sure your tyre pressure's right.
Frenchman tracks are a track that is also affected by the wet season, whether it be a large or a small wet. The Pasco, the water flowing can vary in depth, and the flow amount, like it can really be rushing down there. We've been there one time before and she was just pumping. So we're a little bit concerned about that. And we also heard that once you get through that Pasco, to climb the other side, there's another big rock on a corner. We did hear that a few vehicles are having trouble negotiating that corner and getting through, and same reason, the trucks are bigger, they're wider, So we thought, yeah, we've got to get through there, but then we don't know if we've got to turn back or not.
Well, the guys said to me, we better go and check out what the entry's like. And I said, yeah, go for it. You just go down, I'll drive down in a minute. And they said, don't you want to go and have a look yourself? I said, I will when I get down there. I wasn't worried, you know, I've been down it many times before, but the one thing was, it was deteriorated a lot more this year than last year.
Got to the entry off the Pasco. It's a very tight, rocky, downhill section, even before you get to the water flowings. And you see a lot of aluminium on the rocks where toolboxes, side steps have scraped before. So we got down there, the Pasco, looked at it. Yeah, she was flowing pretty good.
This will be interesting. Frenchmans. I've got to say, it's pretty tight. So I've got John spotting me at the moment because it's quite steep. It's a lot worse than it was last year.
Left hand down now, John. You might just get around this rock. You're right on now, mate. That's fine. Yeah, hold it on.
So it's really, really crucial when you're in a predicament like this to have a spotter.
Hold that line, mate. Just past the west one, mate.
And if you can hear him telling me which way I should go, left or right, and it's really, really crucial.
Hand down.
So steep.
Good job, mate.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome, mate.
So John and Rick went across the river. I stayed on this side. I just had a bit of a squiz where we were going to go. It's still much the same, but I mean, it's always good to walk any of these river crossings just in case. Now they've gone up the other side to find this rock.
So far it's looking a bit easier than last year. Yeah, no problems at all. In the big trucks it'll be a bit rocky coming up through here. We'll go up the top. Apparently there's a big rock sitting up the top here that you can only just fill ankles around. So that's probably the only concern with the trucks. A bit more, a bit wider and a bit longer. So we'll go up and check it out. We have to winch it out of the way. That's what we'll do. There's the rock, Johno. Not as bad as everyone was making it out to be, eh? Yeah, so when we first arrived, we'd heard about this rock which is on the other side of the Pasco. So we went for a wander up the hill to check that out. We thought we'd better have a bit of a heads up just before we get up there and before we can't turn around and come back. So we got up there. Yeah, it was a big rock. We would have had trouble winching it, but we made the decision that we should be able to squeeze through there anyway. So.
The guys are back. I'm ready to go across. I head across, no problems. Yep, it's just as deep as it was last year. Hello! Woo-hoo-hoo! Hey! Gotta love this stuff. Walk in the park. How good is that? Now the one thing I do is I don't wear a seatbelt when I cross a river, and I always have the windows down because if anything goes wrong with the electrics or I can't get out, any of those sorts of things, it's an easy way out for me. So now we've got to get up there. So
Jamie's in the Pasco crossing. I'm in the water, spotting him, standing on the highest rock, so he picked his line. And he went good through the water, climbing up the exit, very muddy, very slippery and steep.
yep, it's been well used. I start puffing away up the hill. Now I've got to be mindful here. I don't want to hit that embankment. Now I think that could be pretty easily done here, like that. And I've got no control on that side. So I just got to watch this side, stick over to this side as much as I can. And just climb it up. Steady, steady. Oh, that looks pretty steep here. Here we go. I'm going up, and then all of a sudden, I go to turn, and the next one, all I can go is whoo, as I go for a slide, and it feels like a forever slide because I wasn't sure what was going on, but I went into that embankment. I know the wheels come off the ground, so it was like I was going to tip right over.
Next thing, the old two-way goes off. He's in a bit of bother.
Hey, Johnny boy, I need a bit of a spot up here. I went for a bit of a slide.
So got up there. I remember saying to him, I thought you had this, mate.
Yeah,
I thought you had this covered.
I did.
Your voice has got very high.
It's been uncomfortable, bud, sitting here like this.
Okay, what do you want to do?
You tell me.
Caught up to Jamie, saw where he had the truck, and he's sitting there. He can't see that. He can't see, he can't go right, he can't go straight. So we did have a go, so reversed down a foot and had another crack. But yeah, no, he bounced up all on angles. So no, we thought, let's just play it safe. Hold it there, mate. You're gonna need a hand. Let's just get your winch out, winch up.
So then we had to get the winch out, get it round a tree and winch her up. You know, the great part is, like, we've got 25,000 pound winches on these, so we can double them up to 50,000 if we need to, but we're just doing a single line pull, 25,000 pound, and good old John, he's done it all many, many times, probably more times than I've ever done it, but he pulls the winch cable out, sets a tree trunk protector up around the tree, hooked it all up for me, and, you know, gave me that bit of guidance and help as we winched her up.
Okay, take it up.
Well, we weren't quite ready for that one.
So Rick was up next.
Yeah, so driving down into the Pasco was slow and steady. It's a pretty steep and rocky entry. I had to be careful. Obviously the fuel tanks hang fairly low, well not real low, but low enough that you've got to be careful when you're coming down, just that you don't take them out. Then as you turn around, little left-hand bend, there's the water, and yeah, it's an awesome sight. And yeah, I was keen to just get straight through it. Yeah, couldn't wait. Righto, entering the Pasco. There'll be a little bit of an S curve to this one to avoid a big hole on the left. Much the same as what we went through last year. It's not real deep, so truck should be fine.
It was Rick's turn to do the Pasco. In the water, watch him go through, yeah, not an issue. Rick picked a really good line, got the truck to the other side. Then he started going up. I don't know if he didn't have enough momentum in the truck to get it past the first little steep incline. So he got up there, we thought, mate, don't go where Jamie tried to go. Just play it safe, go straight ahead.
So I said, look, I think you stay to the left, I went up to the right, and you should be right. You should be good to go.
Yeah, so Jamie, he gave me a yell as I started coming up the other side to stay left. So he turned right and had to be winched out. He took a bit of a slide there back into the wheel track, so I stuck left. Stuck left, still ended up getting hung up, so I needed a little winch.
So I backed down and we winched him up through the left-hand track, no dramas at all. Now the one thing you've got to take into account is these are trucks. They're not little four-wheel drives, they're heavy trucks, 6-ton trucks. And so, you know, we're pushing things to the limit. These tracks don't see these sort of trucks, so, and you know, they're a whole new ball game to how you drive a truck. Anyway, we've got the trucks up through there, and now it's John's turn.
Jamie and Rick got through the Pasco. It was my turn then in the old Canter. I was quietly confident the Canter would do okay. The reason being, Jamie took it last time we were up there, and he actually towed his buggy through the Frenchman. Actually, I did too. So the old buggy's in the back of the Canter. So my turn to come across, got through. Yeah, pretty easy. Buggy's bouncing around a bit on the rocks in the back. Picked up the camera crew. I thought my turn to tackle that hill where the boys had a few issues in that. Mate, pretty rocky, the old Canter's wobbling around a bit, the buggy in the back's going, yeah, side to side. In the end, Canter ate it up.
Next minute, we see the Canter sort of popping along, and then you hear a big bang. All of a sudden, the buggy, which you've got sitting in the back of the tray, is shot over to one side. Now, you can imagine the movement on that body, like we've got spring bases on that tray, so it articulates with the chassis as well. You know, I love watching the articulation of the wheels and the travel movement on that Canter because it's got plenty of it. But anyway, he pokes it up there, he sticks to the left-hand side and just drives it through as if there was no trouble at all. Bit of experience, I guess. He drives a Canter as well. Well, we've conquered the Pasco. Now, a bit of a challenge there just to get through that part, but we've made it through. Now, the next challenge is getting past the rock.
Well guys, we hope you're enjoying that episode of Exploring Off the Grid. And remember, if you're after any of the great gear we use in our trucks, check out our online store, Exploring Off the Grid, or come in and see us at Bundaberg.